Going on, Jerome's beautifully, mercifully, it is finally NFL draft day as the Vikings are about to select 4 Hall of Famers. If they stick and pick, we'll see. It all starts tonight, and it's about damn time, right? So I'm really fired up about that. Also fired up about live stream going on this evening. So 7 p.m. Central Time, the only time zone that matters, will be on the stream, and we'll do some Q&A. We'll react to the picks live, and we'll stream through our reaction to the Vikings pick, and then, of course, we'll sign off. Do like 75,000 videos about the pick. That's what we do, man. All right, so thank you very much for coming along. Also coming along, April Draft Month Fundraiser, all Venmos, Cash App, Super Chats on the live stream. Will be donated to Twin Cities and Seoul, South Korea charities and support organizations. We talked about our story, our plight, everything like that. And the adoption process, it takes a long time. It does. And people need resources, whether it's the kids looking to be adopted, whether it's the families are looking to grow. And thank you very much for the Jeromes. Currently just shy of 1,900 for the 2,500 goal for the month. I'm sure that we will smash it. And just thank you very much. The Jerome's paying it forward. You guys are the absolute best. Also, the absolute best is producer Alli. 15% off hats at purpleftw.net. Link is down below. The 21st through the 28th. So run through the draft, promo code draft sale, 15% off. Go out and go get them. Also, just remember last year, Diamond Dallas Turner at the draft looking good. J.J. McCarthy at home getting the call. Love to see that. Also, remember Jefferson drafted during the Rona. Everyone was at home. I kind of liked the everyone being remote for the draft. I feel like it kind of worked out. And GMs and coaches talked about too, like they were at home with their families and they enjoyed it, right? And I mean, obviously still made some good choices in that draft. It happens, man. But also it was cool too when Jefferson signed his extension last year. Jefferson did the whole holding out of the jersey press conference photo op thing, and Kwesi mentioned that specifically. Like Jefferson didn't have that in 2020, where he didn't have that photo op, so they gave that to him. Really special moment. It's good times. Also, Christian Darasaw. All right, 2021. Pretty Ricky Spielman's parting gift. Because remember, Vikings traded down from 14 to 23. Still got Darasaw, who fell due to health concerns. Maybe that tracked. I don't know, man. But all we know is that Darasaw, when healthy, one of the best left tackles in the game, absolutely. But the draft is tonight in Green Bay for whatever reason. I don't understand, because I know it's kind of cool having the draft travel around, but do it to tourist cities. I mean, Detroit was fine, but Nashville, awesome. Chicago, fantastic. Las Vegas, it's going to be great. I don't understand Green Bay. I don't. Lack of hotel rooms, lack of things to do, but it's whatever. Also, occasionally bring it back to Radio City Music Hall. Like once every 5 years, just have it back in New York, because there's just something about that venue. I don't know, man. But Aaron Jones. So this is like when your significant other is too close to her ex. It's kind of it. So Jones in Green Bay again, friendly confines. Yeah, they still love him because Aaron Jones was a fan favorite. Let's not get it twisted here. Like they were pissed off at the Packers when they cut him. They're like, you cut him, but re-sign A.J. Dillon. It's a fair assessment. But Aaron Jones obviously linked up here with the Vikings 2-year deal, had a career high in rushing yards last year. But I don't know, man. So I know that that's not a Packers hat, but I feel like that's Packers colors adjacent. I mean, where's the purple? Where's the purple, man? Hey, they're going to give you poop? You're Aaron Jones. Come on, man. Come on. It's ridiculous. Something that's not ridiculous. So Vikes Insider. Vikings first drafted position update. So remember, not 24, but first drafted position. Safety plus 200, cornerback plus 200. I don't know. Like cornerback, you can basically write off because the Vikings are in kind of a dead zone of where corners could go, because you got Hunter, you got Will Johnson, you got Jahdae Barron. I think they'll be off the board by the time the Vikings pick at 24. And then you got Hairston, Ravel, Morrison, Trey Amos. I think that they're going to go right after the Vikings pick, so it's whatever. A D-line plus 330. So the Derek Harmons, the Walter Nolans, the Kenneth Grants of the world. Safety-wise, I mean, you got Malachi Starks, you got Nick Emenwari. And then with offensive line, I think the offensive line is the value here. plus 380, running back plus 1200, so 12-1. I don't really see that. But I think offensive line is a sweet spot because, remember, it says first drafted position. So that could be 24. That can be a trade down. And given the composition of day 2, if the Vikings do trade out and end up at the top of the second round, specifically given who potentially could be there, you look at the Donovan Jacksons of the world, you look at the Tyler Bookers of the world, also 3 players that the Vikings did a lot of work on the top 30 visits, Jonas Savaiinaea from Arizona, Ariante Ursery from Minnesota, as well as Marcus Bowe from Purdue. They could be the top pick. So I feel like 3.8 to 1 on O-line, I feel like that's value. A couple jelly beans on that one. Also, so we're in the death throes of mock drafts, finally. So Daniel Jeremiah released his mock draft, and we've talked about before. Big-time respect for Daniel Jeremiah, former NFL scout for a number of years, so he has got the insider's perspective, still has those contacts. And remember, mock drafts are what the person is hearing around the league. So they factor in news, scuttlebutt, gossip with all the scouts, what's going down in the media, as well as tendencies by the team, GMs, needs, all that factors in. But the Vikings ending up with Derek Hammond at 24, wouldn't be mad at that. Wouldn't be mad at that at all. Also, let's see, a couple of eyebrow raisers. Well, Genty at Jacksonville, I feel like the secret's out there. I think that's his floor. Tyler Warren to the Bears, which they have 75,000. They have 75,000 tight ends. Gray Zabel at 11. That could raise a couple of eyebrows, but Zabel could play all 5 spots, and maybe he will be the heir apparent to Trent Williams at left tackle. You never know. See, Stewart goes to the Colts. The Giants trading up to 18, getting Jackson Dart. I mean, that definitely would send some shockwaves through. The Packers getting a Maxwell Harrison at 23, so no wide receiver. Packers fans are going to boo, but Harrison drafted. I think that it means that they'll cut or trade Jair Alexander coming up very soon. But the Vikings getting Derek Harmon, I have no problem with it. Like, honestly, sticking and picking. Oh, it would be interesting if the Vikings had the choice of Derek Harmon, Donovan Jackson, Jahdae Barron. I mean, all 3 of them would honestly be super intriguing. Sort of like flip a 3-headed coin. Go from there. Now, obviously, yes, trade down, get more value, trade down. But if you can't, or if you're not going to get decent value because the talent level of this draft, 15 through 100, is going to be pretty flat. There's going to be some players that go late day 2 or late second round, early third round that easily could have worked their way into the first round if the board had broke different. I mean, that's how close the talent gap is in this. And also, so a lot of people made a big deal about quality over quantity. I feel like that's just a blanket argument that can't really be applied to day 2 of this year's draft class, because I think that there's so much talent in day 2 that you would love multiple swings at this, because I think that the caliber of player that you can get at 24, you're going to get at 40, you're going to get at 50, right? And I know that might sound hyperbolic, but it's not really. Not this year, right? And I know that every single year there's a bunching up of talent at the top of day 2. I think that's going to extend all the way through round 3 this year. This is a good meat and potatoes starter draft where you're not getting franchise changers, you're not getting cornerstones, you're not getting Hall of Famers, but you're getting dudes who can be 5, 6, 7 year starters for your team. Yes, I think you certainly can do that. Also. So this is funny. The whole Kirk Cousins thing. And given the way that the Vikings have treated the backup quarterback position, where they basically didn't sign anyone. They let Daniel Jones go. They didn't make an effort to re-sign Sam Darnold per se, but Darnold's obviously going to start. Nick Mullins they let go. And I think it may come out in the end that the plan all along was to eventually trade for Kirk Cousins. Again, people say blah, 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 schism, blah, blah, blah. No, if he understands that his role is to be the backup, yeah. I think that could work out. Now, Rossini has basically come out and said the Vikings are the least likely of the Vikings, Browns, and Steelers to make a move for Cousins. So that means that Cousins is 100% coming to the Vikings. But Alec Lewis of The Athletic. So it's interesting. The Athletic was always in lockstep with the Aaron Rodgers to the Viking stuff, but Lewis break in here a little bit, which I respect. The Kirk Cousins quarterback 2 conversation is a fascinating one. He still loves Minnesota and the Vikings, former teammates, Kevin McConnell, training staff, etc. If no starting opportunity exists, would he prefer to be a backup here versus Atlanta? I'm of the belief answer is yes. So, does he want to go to the Browns? Even though he has an existing relationship with Stefanski, I just don't see that. Steelers, I mean, he would be starting over with both teams. And here in Minnesota, yes, he would be the clear backup to J.J. McCarthy. But if he's going to be a backup, he may as well be in a spot where he's comfortable, right? And Atlanta, everyone in Atlanta hates him. So again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Vikings eventually pull off a deal. Maybe they'll get some extra draft capital in exchange for some cap relief, but we'll see. I don't think this is over. I just really don't. Also, NFL announced, or rather Pro Football Hall of Fame announced yesterday that the Lions and the Chargers will be battling out in the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame game. So it's kind of annoying because it felt like the Vikings were shoo-in to be playing this year because you do have Jared Allen going to the Hall finally, which is great, but the Lions get an advantage here. And when the preseason games got reduced from 4 to 3, the Hall of Fame game was the 5th preseason game. I felt like that's too much. But if you're in the Hall of Fame game, you get to start training camp a week early, and as well as you get the extra preseason game to get a look at the bottom of your roster guys heading into before you get to 53-man cuts. So I would love if the Vikings would have played in the Hall of Fame game, but sort of is what it is, right? Of course, the league bias towards the Lions, whatever, chicken feed, that's what I say. And lastly, of course, today, a lot of people are going to be watching Draft Day. A lot of people watched it this week. I've watched it a couple times. Not gonna lie, it's so funny watching John Dutton just make moves, taking other GMs to the train station. It's fantastic. Also, this whole thing that Dennis. So the premise was Dennis Leary was head coach of the Cowboys, and he recently had won Super Bowls. Fiction, man. But Arian Foster's in this movie. Diddy's in this movie. Maybe they'll edit him out. I don't know. But also Terry Crews is Arian Foster's dad. It's awesome, man. Vontae Mack, no matter what. This is a good movie. Well, this is a very, very, very bad movie, but it's good and it's fun to consume. And I feel like if people get too in the weeds, like, this is not realistic. Who cares? It's a movie. Honestly, if they did a realistic movie of what the draft process is, it's probably just a bunch of pot-bellied scouts and GMs sitting around a room, a bunch of Zins on zero sleep, 19 Red Bulls, and then that's it. That's really it. That's it. And one nerd in the laptop that they call the analytics department, unless you're with the Vikings, which Kwesi has his quants, his quantitatives. But I digress. Derek Harmon, no matter what. Donovan Jackson, no matter what. Make it happen, man. But that's it. That's it. Your thoughts on our thoughts. Vikings draft day news dump. Nailed it. You're the best. Absolute best. See you tonight in the live stream. Skol, production value.